Hello guys, today we are going to learn about exploratory data analysis. So, what is exploratory data analysis? First of all, what is data analysis? So, initially, we used to have data as structured and unstructured, later cleaned, transformed, and finally we have a beautiful, well organized data. But now we have to analyze it. There comes the problem. How are we analyzing? That is one we have to do. Exploratory data analysis is a method that is used to analyze the data, summarize the main characteristics of the data, and then provide conclusions on the data, often by employing various data visualization methods. So, exploratory data analysis is nothing but going out of the boundaries that we set to a data. So, exploratory data analysis helps to determine what is the best way to get the answers so that how well we can manipulate the data that we want to in order to get the best answers we have, making it easier for the data scientists to discover patterns means the patterns in the sense the way the data is changing. Every data has some patterns in it, so those are identified only by the expertise, the data scientists. And spot anomalies in the sense if we found any different or vastly different item or element in the data, it is considered to be an anomaly. So sometimes these anomalies are found before the visualization, but even after the visualization also these anomalies can be found. And testing the hypothesis, and this is one other step that we go through. Testing the hypothesis is nothing but checking whether our assumption towards the data is correct or not. That is what we have. So, EDA is nothing but the method that scientists use in order to draw valid and organized conclusions from the data to project the main characteristics of the data, often using various data visualization methods. Basically, it helps to manipulate the data. It tells how best to manipulate the data so that we get proper answers what we are trying to cook for. And then we can discover the patterns, we can spot anomalies and test the hypothesis whether our assumptions are correct or not regarding the data. And basically, it is used to see what data can reveal beyond the formal modeling. So basically, we used to have some assumptions. We shouldn't stick to those assumptions. We have to think some more different so that based on this particular data, can I go beyond my assumptions? So that is where exploratory data analysis plays football and cricket with the data. Okay. So modeling the data is like going beyond the formal modeling. Formal modeling or hypothesis both are same, no need to get confused. We are just going into a different terminology of defining the words or the situations or the context. That's it. So then the task and provides a better understanding of the data set variables and the relationships between them. So here, when we go beyond the boundaries, we find new patterns, new hypotheses, everything new. Unless we go beyond, we find nothing. So, then we can also find some things called as the relationships between the dataset variables. Relationships between the dataset variables is nothing but what is a dependent variable, what is an independent variable, how both are affecting each other. That's it. And it can also help determine if the statistical techniques you are considering for data analysis are appropriate or not. Originally, this particular method is developed by John Turkey. Sorry, Tukey. Yeah, okay. R is not there actually. R is silent here. In 1970s itself. So in 1970s they have found that, but in 2000s, 2025 also we are learning C programming. That is the greatness of India. Anyways, EDA techniques continue to be widely used methods in data discovery process today. So, what is the importance of this EDA? So, like, why it is needed? See, before making any assumptions, we have to look at the entire data. We can't stick to one particular assumption and think that particular data is only up to that, and we can't go beyond it. Unless we can't go beyond it, we can't find anything new to us. So basically, the main purpose is to help look at the data before making any assumptions. And the next, it helps identify obvious errors as well as better understood patterns within the data, detect outliers or anomalous events, find interesting relations among the variables. This is already discussed above, so just skip it. So now we have data scientists can use this exploratory analysis to ensure that results they produce are valid and applicable to any desired business outcomes and goals. So EDA also helps stakeholders by confirming that they are asking right questions. So EDA can help answer questions about standard deviations, categorical variables, and confidence intervals. Once EDA is complete and insights are drawn, its features can be used for more sophisticated data analysis or modeling, including ML. So, what are the EDA tools we use? See, specific statistical functions and techniques you can perform with EDA tools are: the first one is we obviously use in every data, that is clustering, and the dimension reduction. So this was also discussed earlier. Dimensionality reduction. So this helps to create a graphical displays for high dimensional data containing many variables. So if we have a huge data, we can go with clustering and dimension reduction and univariate visualization of each field in the raw data set with summary statistics. So univariate, bivariate, these two are new terminologies. Please note about them. Okay. So bivariate visualizations and summary statistics that allow you to access the relationship between each variable in the dataset and the target variable you are looking at. సో ఒక డేటా సెట్ మనం తీసుకుంటే అందులో ఉన్న డేటా వాల్యూస్ కి ఒకదానికొకటి ఉన్న సంబంధం తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ మనం వెతుకుతున్న టార్గెట్ వాల్యూకి ఈ మిగిలిన డేటా పాయింట్స్ కి ఉన్న సంబంధాన్ని కూడా తెలుసుకోవచ్చు. దట్ ఈస్ బైవేరియేట్ విజువలైజేషన్. సో దట్ వాస్ డన్ ఇన్ అ డిఫరెంట్ వే దట్ విల్ బి డిస్కస్ లేటర్. అండ్ యూనివేరియేట్ లో వచ్చేసి ఏంటి అంటే each field, univariate visualization of each field in the raw data with summary statistics. Just univariate might be a thing of creating columnar database kind of thing that, okay. Then we have multivariate visualizations for mapping and understanding interactions between the different fields in the data. సో డేటా పాయింట్స్ అనేవి డిఫరెంట్ గా ఉంటాయి. బట్ డేటా పాయింట్స్ పేరెంట్స్ అలా వెళ్ళినప్పుడు వీ మైట్ హ్యావ్ కామన్లీ అరౌండ్ డిఫరెంట్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫీల్డ్. సో ఆ ఫీల్డ్స్ మ్యాప్ అవ్వాలన్నా వాటి మధ్య జరిగే ఇంట్రాక్షన్స్ అర్థం అవ్వాలన్నా ఈ మల్టీవేరియట్ విజువలైజేషన్స్ వాడతాం. అండ్ ఆబ్వియస్లీ ఫస్ట్ లో చెప్పుకున్నట్టు క్లస్టరింగ్ డైమెన్షనల్ రిడక్షన్ తో పాటు అదే క్లస్టరింగ్ లో కొంచెం స్పెషలైజ్డ్ గా కే మీన్స్ క్లస్టరింగ్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు. దిస్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో క్లస్టరింగ్ మెథడ్, రైట్? అన్సూపర్వైజ్డ్ లెర్నింగ్ లో వాడతాం. Why unsupervised learning? Because we are going to apply this on either unstructured data or structured data. Most preferably, we go to apply with this on the unstructured data assigned into K groups. So, number of clusters based on the distance from each group's centroid. For suppose ఒక ట్రయాంగిల్ తీసుకుని సెంట్రాయిడ్ తీసుకుంటే సెంట్రాయిడ్ నుంచి ట్రయాంగిల్ ఎడ్జెస్ కొన్న కనెక్షన్ కార్నర్ పాయింట్స్ ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ లో ఉన్నాయనేది మనం ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాం? సెంట్రాయిడ్ నుంచి డిస్టెన్స్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసుకుంటే మనకి ఆ సెంట్రాయిడ్ కి ఆ ట్రయాంగిల్ అన్న కార్నర్ కి ఎంత డిస్టెన్స్ ఉన్నాయనేది తెలిసిపోతుంది. In the same way, when we have the data, we have to find the centroid of the data in order to find how much spread or how much distance did this particular data points spread out away from the main data point. So, closest to the particular centroid are clustered on the same category, and which are not closer to the centroid are clustered as a different category. Clustering need not to have a proper shape. Clustering can be in any manner. Okay. So it is commonly used in market segmentation, pattern recognition, and image compression. Next, we have predictive models such as linear regression use statistics to predict statistics and data to predict outcomes. So, what are the tools we have in the EDA? Clustering and dimensionality reduction, univariate visualization, bivariate visualization, multivariate visualization, and K means clustering. So any five we can write. There are about six. We can write any five. If I have a chance to write something, I would write the first five because I didn't find this as something very interesting. Predictive models, okay. But anyways, I didn't find it. Good. Now, types of EDA. So, what are the types of EDA we have? So, that is we are going to discuss now. We have four types. As I have told earlier in the tools, we have univariate, bivariate, and multivariate classifications or clustering, visualizations. Sorry, yeah, visualizations. In the same way, even the types of EDA are four types: graphical, non-graphical of univariate, graphical and non-graphical of multivariate, combinedly called as four primary types of EDA. So, these four primary types of EDA are basically just for the purpose of data visualization. Univariate non-graphical. This is something the simplest form of data analysis, where the data is being analyzed consists of just one variable. So single variable కాబట్టి it doesn't deal with causes and relationships. ఎందుకంటే obviously we have single variable and it is easy to make justification about the relationships between the data points. So it is not a big task for us. Main purpose of this univariate analysis ఏంటి అంటే just to describe the data and find patterns that exist within it. So for what we are using univariate non-graphical method? Just to find patterns and describe the data. That's it. Univariate non-graphical. Non-graphical means here we don't have visualization, we have only analysis of the data. Then we proceed to the graphical versions. Non-graphical methods don't provide full picture of data. So graphical methods therefore required. So here we have common types of univariate graphics. What are those? There are three: histograms, box plots, stem and leaf plots. So how do they look? Let me show you. So is my screen visible to you clearly? Yes, I think so. So now stem and leaf plot. So if you observe, I will go through the images. Yeah, can you see this? stem and leaf variate. So this is one model. And obviously, you might be knowing about this blocks plots. If you are a research student, you might be knowing this. These are called as box plots. So the distance between this box and this line, this line and this line are sometimes decreased due to the situations. If you observe horizontally or vertically, in any way, there will be decrement as well as increment. Yes, you can see here. Here the length is different. Here the length is different, and here the length is different. So this is box plot visualization. And then what do we have? The next one is histogram. Histogram is obviously known since our childhood. Those are continuous values side by side without any gaps. So this was obviously known by us, isn't it? Let me show. So this is histogram. So histograms are obviously known to us, so we need not to think of them. Okay. So box plots and all other things you might be going deeper regarding the analysis of the data. So stem and leaf plots, what do they show? They show all the data values and the shape of distribution. Histogram basically a bar plot in which each bar represents the frequency of the cases of the range of values. Then we have box plots, which graphically depict the five number summary of minimum, which the first quartile, median, third quartile, maximum. So let me take a whiteboard in order to explain what are these quartiles, etc. ఓహో ఏంటి సైన్ అడుగుతుంది కొత్తగా ఫర్గెట్ వెరిఫై చెక్క వెదన చెక్క మనిషి వాడు ఓకే సో జస్ట్ గో అండ్ రైట్ వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్ హే ఓకే యా సో మీకు కనిపిస్తుందని అనుకుంటున్నాను సో మనకి ఫర్ సపోజ్ వీ హ్యావ్ అ డేటా ఒక లైన్ రిప్రజెంటేషన్ లో డేటా ఉందనుకుందాం సో what is the first quartile is the first 25th percent. This is termed to be as a first quartile. And the second one is the 50th percentile or half point of the data is found to be second quartile. And 75th percentile is found to be the third quartile. సో Q1, Q2, Q3 ఇలా మూడు ఉన్నాయి. So these are quartiles. Obviously, you can conclude that the median, what do we have? That is the second quartile. So that is the median M. And then మనకి ఇంకేమేం కేసెస్ ఉన్నాయండి ఇందులో మాక్సిమం. సో దట్ ఈస్ ఆబ్వియస్లీ దిస్ అంటే మనం సార్టెడ్ ఆర్డర్ లో అరేంజ్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత తీసుకోవాల్సిన వాల్యూస్ మీడియన్ కానీ క్వార్టైల్స్ కానీ. సో దట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ హౌ బాక్స్ ప్లాట్స్ గ్రాఫికల్లీ డెపిక్ట్. యాక్చువల్లీ నేను ఈ టెర్మినాలజీ అర్థం కావడం కోసం ఇలా చెప్పాను, బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ దిస్ ఈస్ నాట్ ది కరెక్ట్ వే టు రిప్రజెంట్. సో బాక్స్ ప్లాట్స్ అనేవి చాలా డిఫరెంట్ గా ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి ఐ విల్ లెట్ యూ నో ఇన్ ఫ్యూచర్. నౌ మల్టీవేరియేట్ నాన్ గ్రాఫికల్. What is multivariate non-graphical here? So arises from more than one variable, like multivariate, multivariations, multiple variations we have. So here also EDA techniques generally show the relationship between the two or more variables through the cross tabulation or statistics. Ante. Here also what do we have? Just the analysis. So then we come into the picture of multivariate using graphical version. సో ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం వాడతాము? స్కాటర్ ప్లాట్స్, రన్ చార్ట్స్, బబుల్ చార్ట్స్, హీట్ మ్యాప్స్, మల్టీవేరియేట్ చార్ట్. లెట్ మీ షో యూ సమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. స్కాటర్ ప్లాట్స్, మల్టీవేరియేట్ చార్ట్స్, రన్ చార్ట్స్, బబుల్ చార్ట్స్ పక్కన పెట్టండి. హీట్ మ్యాప్ కోసం I will show you my CodeChef profile just for example. So you can see here actually the heat map. This is a heat map. You can see submissions heat map. How many submissions I have done. So here the data is being visualized like this. సో అప్పటిదాకా ఓపిక్గా కోడింగ్ చేసిన నేను ఫిబ్రవరి అయిపోయిన దగ్గర నుంచి వదిలేశా. మధ్యలో ఒకసారి ఇక్కడ ఎప్పుడో చేశాను మార్చి 29. మళ్ళీ జూన్ 17వ తారీఖున 56 సబ్మిషన్స్ చేశాను. నేనే అలా 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 ఇవాళ జూలై 5. నో సబ్మిషన్స్ ఎట్ ఆల్. సో ఈ డేటా మొత్తం మీరు గమనించినట్లయితే ఇందులో అనామలీస్ ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా? లేదు. ఏమైనా ఎర్రర్స్ ఉన్నాయా? లేదు. మరి ఏం తక్కువ అయ్యాయి? ఉపరాజు గారు నాకు క్లారిటీ కావాలి, సోది కాదు అంటారా? ఆగండి అయితే కొంచెం వెనక్కి వెళ్దాంలే, 100%లో చూద్దాం. సో యూ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్. ఇప్పుడు వాట్ డూ ఐ సే ఇస్ heat map graphical representation of data value depicted by the color. కలర్ అని కాదండి, ద కలర్ షోస్ ది ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆల్సో. ఇఫ్ యూ అబ్జర్వ్ బ్లూ కలర్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ స్ట్రీక్ ఫ్రీజ్ అక్కడ పైన వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ చూడండి 22 సబ్మిషన్స్, 41 సబ్మిషన్స్, ఇక్కడ 40 సబ్మిషన్స్, 21, 30. సో as the number or the count of the data is increasing, the color is getting darker and darker and darker. As the submissions are decreasing, 3 submissions, 1 submission. చూడండి 3కి 1కి కొంచెం వేరియేషన్ కనిపిస్తుంది కదా మీకు. చూడండి ఈ రెండు 3 యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ 1 రెండు వేరియేషన్స్ కొంచెం లైట్ చాలా మైన్యూట్ కలర్ డిఫరెన్స్ అది. బట్ నాకు అనిపిస్తుంది, నాకు క్లియర్ గా అర్థమవుతుంది ఇట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ అని. అండ్ అలాగే నో సబ్మిషన్ చూడండి 3 పక్కన పెట్టి చూసుకుంటే 3, 2, 1 అన్నట్టు ఉన్నాయి. 3, 1, 0 అది సబ్మిషన్స్ ప్రకారం 3, 1, 0. కలర్ ప్రకారం అయితే 3 దీనికి, 2 దీనికి, 1 దీనికి అలా ఉన్నాయి. సో దిస్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ హీట్ మ్యాప్. దిస్ ఈస్ హౌ హీట్ మ్యాప్స్ వర్క్. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే స్కాటర్ ప్లాట్స్, మల్టీవేరియేట్ చార్ట్స్, రన్ చార్ట్స్, బబుల్ చార్ట్స్ అన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఎక్కడ వాడతాము? వి యూస్ దీస్ మల్టీవేరియేట్ డేటా uses graphics to display relationships between two or more sets of data. So the most used graphic is grouped bar plot or bar chart, with each group representing one level of one of the variables and each bar within group representing the levels of other variables. So scatter plot, which is used to plot the data points on the horizontal and vertical axis to show how much how much one variable is affected by another. తర్వాత multivariate charts ఉన్నాయి. This is used for the representation of relationships between factors and response. Multivariate అన్నా. So that's why factors are as well as response are into the picture. Run charts అంటే just the దో అంటే సారీ సడన్ గా పాట వచ్చింది. They just represent how a data is moving from one point to another point in a line manner, just by representing a line. So a line graphs మన స్టాక్ మార్కెట్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, దట్ మైట్ బి అన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ రన్ చార్ట్. బబుల్ చార్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, which is the data visualization that displays multiple circles in two-dimensional plot. That is bubble chart. That is bubble chart. Heat maps obviously discussed it. So finally, వీటిల్లో వాటి languages and programming languages that we use in these are Python and R. అంతే. So that's it for today, guys. If you like the concept of basic concepts, these are the basic things. Subject is much huger than the concept we learn. So, guys, please, if you do like this video, please hit on the subscribe button and like button and share button. Three buttons do their three different tasks through you. Just complete those tasks and come back. Let's bang the world again. Bye bye.